Good morning and welcome to today's live show. It's going to be an interesting day. We have quad witching. We have the PCE that just came out. Let me go take a look at that because I believe that number was pretty damn low. It looks like the core PCE price index month over month coming in at 0.1. The previous was 0.3 and expected to be about 0.3 to 0.2. Personal income month over month 0.3, previous 0.7 got revised there, so pretty good there. Consensus on this was 0.4 and 0.4, so a little lower on the personal income, but personal spending to 0.4, which is a little bit lower than expecting, and the previous was revised to 0.3. So we do have some interesting info here that actually would probably cause some kind of reaction to the upside today, would make the most sense, but we have to see how it actually happens with the price action. Right now that we have the data, we can look at the reaction to see what's going on here. We can see we're extremely oversold, but pretty much that core PCE coming down to 0.1 would kind of, I would say, make people feel better about the rates being able to come down, right? Be better on the inflation side of things. So we'll look into that as it shows up in the charts. Now, for this, we were talking a lot about how we can easily experience downside, more downside, and mainly we were talking about how we could form that good downside behavior, right? That good base to really actually go in the upward direction. So that's mainly what I'm still focusing on. And then I'm looking, hey, if we actually do just end up curling things up, that's going to be a big deal. And the reason that I'm talking about that is because if you're just watching the pre-market, well, we can probably do this and just show, like, we already came below here, you're making a divergence in the pre-market, and now that volume's actually coming in, I believe, with the news. So you actually might have that structure right now, which would lead us to believe, hey, we could see a V-shape here to get back into monthly expected moves, right? We're outside of the December monthly expected move for the SPY, maybe even to get back into the weekly. Okay, maybe to get back into the weekly. How we'll know if this is some kind of, you know, if we do run here, and you're going to know, okay, if that's able to really boom higher and then it just rejects off of here, you want to be careful with what's going on over the weekend. But just know, if we wanted to send stocks higher throughout next week, it technically would not be that difficult to do. Retail could push it higher. They could push it higher themselves because there's going to be low volume, right? We have a half day, we have an off day, and then we have a day that pretty much people won't really care about. So you almost have just a 2.5 day trading week next week. So I think you got to be paying attention to that. Today's going to be the big day where big volatility coming in. Speaking of volatility, well, let's tell you those expected moves, right? For the day, 591.29 for the SPY to the upside, and we have 580.91 to the downside. We originally were down here. Now we're starting to build back up. That divergence is there in the extended hours. So we will pull up extended hours every once in a while to look at it. I like to use futures a little bit more, right? I like to use stuff like this. Look at the pattern here. Look at a 2 hour here. We see that. Now we should be open to this falling down. We should be open to this building structure to remain healthy. The likely scenario here is you're going to have to make a stronger base than even this because you're so far away from the center line. But with this type of look right here, if we can get a strong move, we might just make a higher low and then start to see that series of higher lows throughout next week and go up on light volume. So I want you to be paying attention to it. Okay, now we got to do something key here, which is look over at volatility. Because you notice volatility did not get that big of a pop this morning. The 2 hour looks like it really wants to turn down. So one thing we need to be aware of if things are going to get uglier is this 2 hour is going to be able to turn back up. This 2 hour is going to be able to turn back up. And that would be a sign that we're either going to make a strong base or we're going to continue to crash. We could crash on light volume next week. I don't think that that is a very likely scenario, but it is something that we have to put on that 1%, right? 1% chance it happens. We want to be talking about it. That's how we're going to go through this market from this standpoint, because look, volatility is really, really high. So it's very important to pay attention to both sides. If you get too bullish, too bearish when volatility is this high and you ignore a reversal signal, it's going to be a big problem for you. You're going to struggle a lot. So what we want to pay attention to is the fact that, yeah, this isn't necessarily divergence, but it is an extreme like lower high, which is coming down towards this area. You can see it didn't even match that point, and the market was way down this morning, right? It's still way down right now, so you would expect volatility to get up towards my line towards 36, But we're not necessarily doing that. We're actually seeing it break down. We're seeing the potential for a 2 hour to cross. So volatility comes back in. This is what we're going to be watching next week. But right now we want to see if this can close below the 5-day and start to trickle down, because the stats here for volatility when you see these big pushes is if it holds, you're experiencing one of those crazy moments. If it doesn't hold and you start to see this come down, volatility will most likely in the next 30 days subside. If you start to cross down below the 5, start to give all this up, it is leaning towards a big push in the market. Okay, that's what the stats tell us. I can pull that up maybe tomorrow for Saturday's video. But we want to be paying attention to the Qs as well. The Qs are currently in our buy zone, so we want to be paying attention to that. We want to pay attention to the fact that, oh, what are the Qs doing? Well, let's see if we turn on extended hours. Oh my goodness, what a divergence. And that divergence is completing right before the open, so volume will be a little bit better on these bars. So I do like that confirmation back in our buy zone. Means we could see this 2 hour curl up soon. Okay, now we don't like to use those extended hours. We want to see things proven during the regular trading hours, at least from my standpoint. But that is something you can pay attention to if you're not seeing that very clearly. So what we'll watch here is, do we actually get this buying up into positive territory? We talked about the fact that this is a nice bundle in here. So if we can react up and then see that retest our buy zone and curl back up, you might have a little mini head and shoulders and you might end up going higher next week. So we'll pay attention to it. This is really where we want to see, do these things actually get reactions? These are our buy zones. This is what we've been looking for, right? If you've been part of this channel for more than these 2 days, what have we been talking about in these run-ups? Pretty much at this point right here, we were like, yeah, let's really focus on these zones now. And then 3 days later, we go down to the zone. So that's very, very nice. This is some kind of opportunity. We are noticing the crossover of the daily MACD. So let's be aware of lower highs. Let's be very aware of lower highs, actually. That would be very important to pay attention to, because this can just keep continuing, right? We have another zone down below us. We don't have the 2 hour signals to really say, yeah, this is going to be the best turnaround. But what we want to see is, we don't even have the 30-minute signal in regular trading hours. So we could do something like that. But for today, the important thing is to pay attention to your daily expected moves. 521.88 to the upside, 506.46 to the downside. I truly believe this was, hey, maybe something to do with margin, leverage, taking taking some money grab at the end of the year to get those bonuses. That's what I believe this is at this point. If I'm proven wrong, well, the signals are going to tell me we're going to go up to this area, we're going to reject, and we're not going to make a divergence right here or anything like that. If we're going to not head higher, then we're going to maybe even make all of this, and then we'll go higher, and then we'll reject again from maybe a breakdown area. So just let the signals prove it, right? I don't need to guess. I just need to be open to multiple scenarios and then sit here and go, okay, what does it look like? Which scenario is going to play out? What are my signals telling me? And I'll be just fine. Very, very cool, though. Let's see. I got anything interesting out there? Okay, and I think I wanted to show, I think it was Nvidia, and I wanted to show Nvidia because I want you to see the buying pressure here. And I want to do this, look at this. So if I show the buying pressure here, you're going, okay, this was all the way down at 126, and we're going to start off the morning now at 130. Like, that's some buying pressure. Now, this can fail, right? We're not above the 5. We're coiling up. We got some big move, medium move here, medium move here. We might need to keep coiling up for some time. But I just wanted to show you how things have dipped dramatically lower and been able to buy back up at this point. We will see if these things actually curl up on 30 minutes. We will see if Apple can actually curl up on 30 minutes as it retests a monthly expected move. Because this could all be consolidation in some way, right? We could be consolidating in some way to drop further. So we want to be aware if this is not crossing up today. I just think we got a good shot. I think we got a good shot at a Christmas rally. And a lot of the time, if we need to make that base during next week, I think it's half the time we actually see the Christmas rally from December 25th into January. So I think that that's interesting, but we'll pay attention to that a little bit there. Alrighty, how are you doing this morning? Is everyone doing good? Everyone probably looking at AMC and GME, and I showed you guys some of the things that I'm paying attention to, which is if I just get a nice daily signal here, we would have a similar bottom to the last time the big moment happened. I believe it's even around the same time of the year. I mean, not the last time the big moment happened, but the last time the big moment happened. Around the same time of the year, you had a divergence down at this low. Now, right now, you are holding flat with possibly a double bottom, so this could leak out for a few more days. But I just wanted to show you, I mean, you have the divergence that looks very, very similar to right now. You had a move that went positive, you came down and created a divergence, you have that right now. And then you saw a move all the way up to about $105, I believe. So we're paying attention to it. We're seeing if it plays out. When it did cross, it did take some time, right? It did take its time, and that was in January. So we do have some time in December for this to keep going down, then slowly trickle up. Then we see something good if that's going to happen. But we can just pay attention to the now. And if this daily is able to curl up, we would say, hey, that looks like a good signal, and therefore I like the play. What do we notice about this? Well, if the 30-minute could curl up here, that would be a good thing. And mainly, I get that it's curled up. I'm more talking about it needs to retake that 5, and then GME needs to curl up on its 30-minute and remain above 28.35, remain above this low right here is really important. All right, we're opening up, so let's go see what the reactions are in the market straight away in the day. Let's look at the SPY. It is down. It has bought back up above the daily expected move. Very, very nice. We probably would see some kind of 15-minute divergence or something here in the actual market. We'll see if this is able to turn up over time. But we'll need those buyers to step in. We're currently outside of our buy zone. The Q's in the buy zone, so maybe we need to be watching it and see if we can make a move back into the weekly as the daily expected move is back in that weekly chart there, or that weekly time frame right here. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Hello, check the dollar. The dollar, really want to pay attention to if this is dropping significantly. Okay, so you don't have 2-hour divergence, which means what? Well, when the dollar's been going up, you notice the dollar went up, the market went down. That is the perfect thing you want to see. You want to see that happen. That's normal. But what we want to pay attention to is the 2-hour doesn't have reversal. The 4-hour doesn't have reversal. So we're going to see more selling come in. You're going to see that 2-hour be able to whip up or this 4-hour be able to whip up. And I think you will see some more selling come in. Now, what we want to pay attention to, if this is going to get very bullish very fast, is the daily time frame. If this daily is able to cross, we might have ourselves a bullish run for quite some time while this goes down into lower areas, and then maybe we're able to scoop back up. So those are the two scenarios, the bullish and bearish things there. So obviously the dollar coming down would be more bullish. The dollar going up would be a little bit more bearish. I hope that that makes sense, Mark. Normal market hours today? Yes, we should have normal market hours today. Tesla, let's go look at Tesla real quick. Tesla coming down, first of all, curling on the daily. Now, one thing to pay attention to with Tesla is the fact that it's making a little divergence here on the 30-minute. Now, once again, you're seeing a similar look on almost all of these little 30-minute charts when you do the extended hours. Now you're noticing that violated one point, is it holding the other one? So you're holding flat on the RSI. So you're actually holding a lot of the divergences here for Tesla, and that's producing an upside move. So I would just see if the 30-minute can prove that by curling up into positive territory and realize it's not in regular trading hours. I like mine to be in regular trading hours, so I would be aware of anything like that happening. But also, is this even curled up yet? No. So we might need to head to lower prices before we're able to get that bounce, something like this down towards 415. But we're paying attention to support, right? The 2-hour does not have, look at the 2-hour. So why am I paying attention to 30-minute divergences? Because the 2-hour does not have divergences. It doesn't have them right now. So this can continue for Tesla. And this is more when I would be a little bit worried for the daily pullback. But judging how the market has reacted right now, we see how this has gone down to lower prices. So this could just be an overall corrective move done right now. We'll see how this actually plays out. The best part about this, guys, the best part about this is volatility is higher. So if we see 30-minute divergences, they should be easier plays. You should be able to make higher percentages a little bit quicker, which is very, very nice. Okay, that's a kind of market that I really like because I can see that things are risky. I can see that things are volatile. I can see a 30-minute divergence, take that play for a few days, end up making 100 to 200%. And that plays out very, very well in a bear market. It's very strange, but when volatility is higher, the opportunities actually play out better, which is very cool. Mark, I hope that was overall helpful. Those are the two things that I'm paying attention to with the dollar. If you have more to add to that, Mark, if you have something you're paying attention to, please tell me. All right, I want to know. Time to make more money. Let's go, YS. Let's go. Claudio, how you doing? And good morning, Terry. I'm back, got lost somewhere else. Oh, happy Friday. Oh, god dang it. No. Hey, that's okay. At least you made it back. You know what I mean? Well, been a long holder of QQQ. Well, QQQ, I just want to talk about this because it is curling over on the daily. So it is a signal that says, hey, be worried. But the thing you want to pay attention to is look at all these times that we go down towards this bottom of the RSI, right? At least the last two. 1, 2, 1, boom. 2, boom. Now this is a curl over here. This is bad, right? This is obviously bad. But you had such a bad day that you're already in an area where the market has tended to bounce, right? If we're going to get that corrective move, usually it's after we find a steep bottom like this one that you actually see that corrective move. So are we going to make a steep bottom here, or are we just going to curl up? Now, what we'll pay attention to is if the Qs make some kind of lower high here. Right, if the Qs make a lower high and the SPY goes and makes that divergence and we have the look of a crash, that's when I'll be talking about it. Everyone else can talk about it while it's all good and dandy. I'm going to keep a level head here and just say, yeah, okay, if this curls down on the SPY, it's really, really bad. It is. It's bad. But if the SPY is able to build up today, that might get rid of that signal. And two, where are you really reacting to that weekly 20 if you really give it some space there? But look at the weekly 20 buying opportunity. We cut it, big buying opportunity, potentially here, right? Almost getting to the 20, buying opportunity. Here's the 20 again. So we just want to keep a level head here and note that we're not doing anything different just yet. That's why I'm more so going to be worried if we break the channel and we hold below the channel. That's when I'll be more worried. And guess what? You're probably going to break the channel and then end up bouncing for a retest. So these things, you have to understand how they move. And right now you're extremely oversold right before Christmas. And here's the thing, whether you believe it or not that people control the buttons here, do they want people spending money for Christmas? I think I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Do they want people spending money for Christmas? Yes, they do. They want the economy to remain strong. So something that could really scare people out of that is tanking their 401k, and they go look at it and then they're down, 30k or something, or 50k or something, and then they go, ugh, I don't even want to go shopping. I don't see that on the psychology side of things. I don't see that being the smartest play. I see a trap in 2025 to convince everything, oh no, 2024, we all thought it was going to be crazy in 2025, oh, everything's good, and then we come down. Remember, we're still paying attention to January of 2025. I haven't changed on that until I see more price action. I have to see more price action. And then March of 2025 and October of 2025. So I'm looking for the signals that tell us, hey, do we see crash signals in January? Do we see crash signals in March? Do we see those in October? And the market's going to tell us, these indicators are going to tell us exactly what's going to happen if we pay correct attention. So right now we're paying correct attention. I mean, if you really just look, we even have this little move right here, and guess what? That is a steep divergence right now. If you look at the MACD, that's a little divergence there. If we pull up extended hours, it's there. If we look at a 15-minute, it's there. So yeah, so to answer what I was really talking about, Mark, since you said you're in the Qs, was we didn't have the signals that we had at the other major tops, right? We didn't even have the signal that we had right here for this big drop, right? This big drop here, we didn't have the same signal here as here, right? And then the other major tops, they made signals like this on the SPY more likely, but the Qs usually make that lower high. So I just want to pay attention to the fact that this is still dramatically up. And what if we just end up doing this and getting rid of all of that, and then we come down and we go into the end of January and look at that? I think one of my timings leads up to January 21st, which is kind of nuts. So we'll see what happens with this. We'll also see what happens January 6th, that's for sure. So let's just let the price action work today. If an opportunity shows its head, we'll find it, right? Apple, potential, right? There's potential here. Now, this has a bearish thing too, right? We talked about the bearish thing, all right? Let's see if that happens. But for the most part, we're reacting down to this level. What if we get another reaction like this and then turn down, right? We want to pay attention if these things curl back down. Tesla, potential, right? For some kind of move. How good can that move be? Well, you want to see how long that holds and be able to manage your trade. Amazon, potential, right? Now, Amazon is a little bit more bearish. Why? Because you've really coiled up here. You've seen a massive drop, and so you want to be open to that lower high on a lot of these charts. Now, Nvidia, I think, has been basing out for a very long time. I think you do have some little tiny structure in here to actually head lower, but look at that thing buying back up. So if that 30-minute crosses up, most likely this little head and shoulders that you see right here, it's probably not going to play out. Little slanted head and shoulders. If this just curls up, we take back the 5. This can be a double bottom to project us higher, and that might end up seeing this 2-hour project higher. If that 2-hour can go positive, we might get a daily cross up, which means most likely Nvidia is going to make, at this point, you have to be open to the lower high. Okay, be open to the lower high. All right, but right now it really seems like we are going to see some positivity. That is not a guarantee, right? We have not seen anything curl up. I just think for the timing of this, it would make more sense to head in the upward direction. That's all. AMD. You look at this, and this thing was terrible, right? It was terrible, but it has a 2-hour divergence. If that 2-hour turns up, daily time frame can turn up. So am I overly bearish just yet? I will be if we make a lower high. I'll put it that way. RGTI, ooh, I do like this this one. I was waiting to see, oh wait, that's not it. That's RGTI, come on now. I actually do like this one. And you're actually seeing those little signals in here that can curl up a 30-minute. Now, the 2-hour is still positive. You have a reversal signal on the RSI, but you don't have it on the MACD at the same time. This might be a time where we actually could react a little lower, right? We could go to that 20 to really get that test. But this is a lot of space we've gained here, and I want to see, hey, can an hourly turn up? Can a 2-hour turn up? Can that turn up? Right now, it looks like the 30-minute wants to make some kind of base. You see the tapering. You see we are in a big liquidity zone. That's awesome, right? We see a bundle of price action in here. So anywhere in there, if we can really turn up from here, you can see higher prices. If we need to make some kind of divergence, okay. If we need to make some kind of lower high, right? Quick little lower high here, left head, right shoulder, that would be nice. I do like this stock. Okay, new, I see you. Let's see it. New core. Ooh, new core, not a bad look. Now let's see if it proves on the 2-hour. You are coming down in dramatic fashion the whole time. You keep rejecting off of the 5, right? We're not even getting to the 5 on these tests, but now you have a reversal signal. So let's see what happens, right? This reversal signal led to a little bit more, just a little bit more, but very flaggy. You don't want flaggy, you want a reaction, and you want this 2-hour to be able to curl up like fully. Now you are rejecting on the 2-hour. That's kind of nice, right? The rejection from the 2-hour, but on some negative bars. Very interesting. So I would say if this can take back the 5, you might start a little uptrend here, actually. That would be nice as far as this goes. That's great. It's a solid beatdown. Now you are below the 200, so just be aware that all of this, if it sees a bunch of positivity, it could fail at the retest area around 138. But very cool. I think it's cool to see stocks that are going down dramatically to actually have reversal signals. It's just, I would look at this and I would say, is this probably the best option play right now? Well, the trend is very obviously down. So an option play, yeah, you can try it, but just know how to manage risk. I like this more as a just a stock, as a regular shares, not necessarily option play. BlackBerry had a good earnings. BlackBerry had a good earnings. Wow, really? Okay, there you go. Well, look at that. It held the 5. That is nice. And what does it keep doing? Riding that 5, getting a reaction. Riding down to the 5, getting a reaction. A little bit more uncontrolled, so be a little bit more worried. But look at this. You just cut right through the breakdown area. Once you do that, hey, boom to the upside. Looks pretty nice there. But it's on earnings, 50-50 flip there, right? The 2 hour here, ooh, you had divergence too. So that's why you don't necessarily want to put everything in the technicals basket when it comes to earnings. But very good move for BlackBerry there. Tesla doesn't, I don't think anything knows the direction yet. That's why we're still chilling. And it's still moving. That's good. Yeah, see, we got to build back into this zone. We got to build back into it. Remember, when you cut through a zone, you can use it as resistance. So we got to build back into this zone. Willow, did you end up taking a play with BlackBerry? We trapping bears out here. I think we might be, Reese. Now, is that trap done? That's what you're going to ask yourself over the next few days. If you guys, are you guys planning on trading? No, I haven't. I will go talk about it, Carter. I haven't talked too much about Apple. A little bit, right? We did it very quickly with the cup and handle type thing. But yeah, I was just, yeah, calls and puts. Oh yeah, play both sides. What a politician, Willow. We just have to realize, is this trap set now? Are we going to just see a rapid V-shaped reaction, or are we going to build that base in some way? Are we going to build a base in some way? I think that's what we're looking for to really see if this is a trap. It could be right now with the look if you add extended hours, but I don't like to do that. I like to see it proven in regular trading hours. Let's go look a deep dive in Apple here. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm just like, when you see it in extended hours, you know, it's very obvious double bottom, but is that going to actually produce? And is that going to just V-shape then in the regular trading, right? Is that going to do that? And that's what we're really watching here. We came down to this level, but notice we still didn't break this low. It's right above it. So we still didn't break it. Be open to this, right? Be open to the head and shoulders. Be open to the fact that this could be a cup and a big handle right now. This does not look good, right? We're just talking about being open to opportunities in either direction. And right now, that direction to me looks like look for opportunities for upside. Look at IWM, positive today. Look at TLT getting a reaction today. Key thing with TLT is divergence on the RSI, not on the MACD at the same time. So this can be a reaction that fails. All right, that can be a reaction that fails. The 2 hour has gone deeper and deeper and deeper. We'll notice that the daily scale is still forming that divergence all the way across. So we'll see if that is able to catch some ground here. But something I thought was interesting yesterday was just that Jerome Powell literally said, like, hey, he's like, hey, we totally avoided a recession, which is just kind of a blatant lie, honestly. Build back better. Took calls on IWM. Congratulations, Chris. Yeah, Carter, so that's mainly what I'm looking at there. I'm just seeing if these things can make strong bases, and I'm aware of how they could break down, right? I don't have any risk really out there. Had to manage USO yesterday, I believe. So I think like all of my risk is pretty much out of the market. And I'm looking if there's going to be a good curl up somewhere. I'm actually looking to see if there's a way for me to take a position for a month out, maybe for some upside. If these things prove, that's going to be key. Peloton getting a rejection. Yeah, we looked at this earlier this week, so I think that's good to pay attention to. Oh, and just FYI, we took that poll yesterday. Seemed like a decent amount of people wanted to see the course sale start up now. I was going to do it right after Christmas, to kind of a New Year, New Me sale. We'll extend it a little bit for just a few days here so you can get it over the weekend. I know people have maybe jobs and things like that maybe you get the whole week off, maybe you just get a couple of days, but it's a great opportunity when things are volatile like this to take that course, the full technical analysis course, down in the description. I did it again, right? Enough people voted and enough people have been emailing me, enough people have been asking me these questions about the course that I think it would be great for people to have it. So we did the thing. We made it $100 one last time again. I was like, gosh, man, I'm just a sucker. That's what it is. I'm a sucker. And I'm like, okay, these people are nice to me. You guys are great in the community. You like all the videos. You guys are almost getting me to 10K by Christmas. I'm just like, holy crap. And I'm so thankful that I'm like, it's Christmas. Why the hell would I raise the price a little bit for Christmas on the sale? Let's give you the full freaking sale. So if you missed out on the last one, hey, $100 for you. You can really learn and come into 2025. And if things remain volatile, you will be in a great headspace for it. You will be able to see things more clearly than other individuals. And if you do take plays, you'll be able to manage those trades, which I think is a fan-freaking-tastic thing. Because if you were managing risk throughout all of this with Peloton, all you had to see was this. Boom. And it never curled back up. And you go, okay, if that's not going to curl back up, we lose the 5 and all of this is said and done. Okay, bad things can happen. Also, why are my Bollinger Bands? This keeps happening. So, no, not praise Luke, just Merry Christmas, guys. I genuinely appreciate you guys. And there's no praise anywhere. It's just, hey, thank you guys for being a part of my community. If you're new here, I want you to be a part of this community. I want you to continue learning. And I think that Christmas time is a great time if you have an off day or something like that. And that's the thing about the course too. It's great. You can pretty much take it in one day. You can learn about it. You can come back to the live show. I will be live during next week pretty often, so you can come ask questions if you have any confusion there. I think God, I feel like I did get an email recently and I lost it and someone asked me a question. So if you emailed me like a week ago and it got buried in my email, I do apologize. Send another one. Thoughts on shorting the VIX? I mean, we had people that already bought positions yesterday on the VIX. Look at that PCC. Oh my gosh. So do you think people are a little bearish at the low while things are very oversold? This is perfect. This is bear market behavior. So if we can make a strong base here, that's good. So volatility, it's like, yeah, well, the data would suggest that volatility is going to drop by at least 50% from this area by like 30 days from now. But is it done yet? No. Do you have signals for it? Well, you did before market open, so you're kind of hoping, hey, can this give me another touch up in these levels? And then you could think about it, right? You have to make your own decisions. VVIX actually making a form of divergence here. VIX 9-day was the one that went absolutely bonkers, and look at that. So you're pretty much like, okay, VIX 9-day is most likely to drop by about 50% in the next 30 days. It's like minus 17. Yeah, about minus 17. So that means down to these levels. Now, that doesn't mean it's right now. That's the thing. That's why I want to pay attention to the signals. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god, you guys. You guys, this is an actual stock. Wolfie? Oh, I like me some Wolfie. I pointed out Wolfie had a decent signal. Well, 5-day, 30-minute curls up, we can see positivity. Divergence there, so if 2-hour curls down, hey, you might need more of a pullback. We might need to go fill a gap first. That's all I would say about this bad boy. But the 2-hour doesn't have the divergence that I would like to see a bigger drop. As far as it goes for Wolfie boy over here, something I was paying attention to was the Wolf. I really was, because I'm always looking for this daily if that can curl back up. If the daily can curl back up, I think you have a good chance to get through 1135. 1135 was the mark offer when I took my trade down here on Wolfie boy with my short seller theory. The short seller theory that time ended up being very correct, and I haven't really had the opportunity to test it since. I got to test it for a brief moment with AMC and GME. It was right. It's just they didn't have as big of a move as Wolf did. So Wolf here, if that can curl up on the daily, I actually really like it. I think you've tapered, you've made divergence, you're coming down for another dip for that higher low, and then we'll see what happens. If that can curl up, that would be suggested. One that I'm also looking at, I think was Mara. I think it was Mara coming down to 1873. That's where I wanted to look at it. I wanted to see if this 2-hour made. Okay, we didn't. We went too far. That's unlucky. And then another one I'm kind of paying attention to is FFIE really trying to make a base here. You notice this. And this is one I'm just testing the short seller theory on soon. So I will let you know when I am testing this. But look at what happens back here is you start to make that base, then you go. It's not these reactions that lead to big drops, right? You make a base, oh, you lose the base, then you get a big reaction. So when these bases are really made, that's the big moves. And so I like this base a lot right now for FFIE. Now, obviously this is very speculative, but I can test this theory with like 30 bucks, right? I can test this theory on my fun account with like 30 bucks. And I can buy a month out position if I want. And if a run like this does happen over the next month, then I can say, okay, awesome. 12 is perfect. Like anything like 4 is perfect, right? Because it's so cheap. So that's all I would say. I haven't had the short seller trigger here just yet, the short seller theory that I'm testing. So we'll take that into consideration. Wolfie boy, good catch, guys. Good catch. You guys are aware. And DJT was one that actually had 2-hour divergence up here. You can see that right here. We see that across. We see that across. So this would say the daily maybe has some more work to be done. That daily is crossing today. If that holds below the 200, we could end up all the way down towards this buy zone. Some interesting looks. But we might need more time. You should expect some volatility today. 20% day for Wolf calling it now. Yeah, but BB's running. It had the earnings. BB running though is a great thing. It's probably a good thing for AMC and GME. Should we go check on those? Who wants to check on AMC and GME real quick? Or are you guys enjoying watching the SPY and the Qs and bouncing around to some tech stocks? RGTI actually got through? Damn, this is one I was really looking at. Okay, cool. I'll take a peek at that one. Alrighty. That's a good reaction. All right, let's go check on GME and AMC real quick. So GME, we reacted all the way down to 28.35. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Yeah, this line wasn't on there yesterday live. I actually went and found this level in case we experienced a drop, and I was like, well, what would we really need to break through? It's somewhere around that 28.35, right? I like zones, but 28.35. Why is this good? 1, breakout area, very, very good. 2, reactions around that area. 3, a reaction when you get through that. Reaction when you get through that. Retest, retest, retest. Reaction when you get through that again. Reaction when you get through that to the downside. Again, reaction to that when you get upside. Again, retest, 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 reaction when you get through it. So I really like that level right now for GME, which would suggest what? Well, when you break through it cleanly or use it as support, you can head higher. When you break through it cleanly to the downside, you head lower. All right? When you break that to the downside, you head lower, at least in the past. All right? Even here in the past, right? If you're not able to hold it very quickly, ooh, you see more of a drop when you cut through it. So I do like that level a lot. Tesla and Nvidia, we can go look at Nvidia. We kind of did Tesla just briefly a second ago. But we can look at Tesla in a moment. So the reason that I was very skeptical of this big drop was just because Nvidia didn't necessarily cut this low during market hours. It did it in the post-market, pre-market, if you will, but we haven't necessarily done that here for the regular trading hours. So I'm still looking at that 30-minute. We haven't lost 127.74, right? We haven't lost 125. So I'm pretty okay with this behavior right now is what I would say from Tesla. The ultimate thing you want to happen is this 2-hour gain some ground. If you want to get bullish, just watch if the daily curls up. Because if the daily curls up, you could be in a whole different sequence. Right here you have divergence, but if this daily curls up, all of that could be done, and this could go boom and end up seeing an uptrend for some time, right? So I want to pay attention to it. Now, throughout this move, the good thing is if volatility remains higher and we see a move like this and the daily crosses up and we go like that and you see a little 2-hour divergence right here, hey, that's probably something you want to pay attention to if volatility is higher, right? Because that is most likely to play out if volatility remains high. That's what I'd be looking for, but you have a chance to build back from here. If you can really get through the breakdown area first, get through 135, then I think you're back to the bull side for a bit and just watch out for the lower high signal. If you don't see that, then it's probably going to continue. We shall see. Semiconductors don't look too bad. Tesla still hasn't even curled down on the daily yet, and look at the 2 hour. Like, if we're really just thinking about this plainly, we go, okay, the 2 hours, what I want to be watching. Are we in the first breakout area, right? We're testing that first breakout area, which is what I was leaning towards for the 2 hour. So if that 2 hour can buy back here, that would be good. The 30-minute needs to turn up for that to happen. Is this a good floor yet? Kind of. You've tapered, but you haven't made the divergence that I would like to see in order for this to truly be a great move. And I think a big base here would be nice. That would get the 2 hour even closer to the center line, say another 6 hours worth of price action, and we see all that. That would be nice. And then you head to the upside. Actually, it would be more around like 8 to 12 hours of price action, and then we'd watch out for those reversal signals. That's when we'll pay attention. But it's the difference between Tesla and the state of the market right now is a little bit wonky, because the state of the SPY right now is like this, and it's great because that's fantastic to keep going. But it just means to me, I think Tesla is remaining strong actually, right? Because we talked about a waterfall of selling. If you take the close here and you go like this, it's 13%. Okay, well, how big is this run up in general from the breakout? Well, I kind of cheated there. We'll say 35%. I want to cut that little bit out. We'll say 35%, right? So that's a solid little retracement, right? That's a solid retracement. If we take the retrace from the breakout area to the wick, you're at this level right here. You're at the 0.5. Like, that's pretty damn good. That's what we want to see. We want to see little moves like that, then see this 2 hour confirm up, then we can test the high, go make a new one. This is where the Patreon will really help, and understanding weekly expected moves will really help, guys. That's why the course is going to be on a sale. New year, new me. It's going to go into January for a little bit, so you have some time. If you get a little, $100 from your grandma for Christmas or something like that, if you still get that, I think weirdly enough, I do actually. So I think that's all. Yeah, every Christmas, my grandma hands me $100. Like, she doesn't like shopping or something like that. But I'm like, hey, I'm down. I like $100. She hands it to all of us. It's not just me. That would make me feel bad if it was just me. But sometimes she calls me the wrong name too. They're getting a little older. You know what I mean? My grandma's getting a little older. But that $100, you can learn actually what these weekly ranges are, how to even learn a way to make them for any stock. I actually teach that in the course, and then how to really treat them, how to use them as profit taking, when to find a setup around them, how to treat these things. That's very, very important. But Tesla, if it makes a 2 hour move up, you can make a weekly expected move next week. I'm going to give you that on Patreon, and then you can see a move up to there, and maybe that's where you go, okay, that's my Christmas bonus for myself, is some kind of move like that. You have an opportunity where all these 2 hours are down by the center line, and then you can make a weekly range just next week, and then give yourself a Christmas bonus, you know what I mean? Just something little. Pay for your Christmas gifts, you know? Oh, it's giving it up there for volatility. Oh, wait. I just clicked on SPY and it won't load either. Cup and handle on the Qs on a 15-minute. We'll go see if this thing will freaking load. Are the Qs loading? Okay, the Qs are loading, the SPY's not. Cup and handle. I think if you were going to make a cup and handle, you would have done it here. You would have done it here. And you could even say head and shoulders. I think those, or maybe at the gap or something like that. If you're going to make a cup and handle here, it would be interesting. And you said 15 minute. Let me look on a 15. I don't think you want to really say cup and handle, but there is a 15-minute divergence signal there. I don't like those too much, but it means, we can maybe curl up an hourly for a retest of the breakdown area. Yeah, I'm not necessarily seeing the cup and handle you are. But that's okay. If you're seeing it, I'm not. I don't see everything. I'm just not really putting it together. Like, if anything, maybe something like this is what you want to look out for. But for that to produce a big drop from there, hey, that would be getting you back into the annual expected move for the Qs. So we can pay attention to it. Thank you for keeping it on our radar. Anything that we can formulate. It froze on the SPY. I want to see if it'll... I'll try to reload. Let's see if it reloads and goes. Yo, SPY just doesn't want to pop up. Look at that. Qs pop up. So let's just watch the Qs. We know if the Qs are going up, probably the SPY is going up. UVXY is crashing, and that's a big signal as well. Look at UVXY. It never made the new high. This is not today. This is yesterday. Never made the new high, and the SPY is at lower levels. That's a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. Now, we don't want to see signals on UVXY. You can pay attention to them, you know, during certain markets, but in this kind of market, we still want to mainly, and always really, you want to be doing your assessment on volatility itself. And the thing we want to see here today is, does the 2-hour cross down? Remember what we were talking about? Hey, this would be bad if it holds up here. If it goes like this, it is very likely going to keep going. Now we want to pay attention if that whips back up, but right now it would say, hey, we could get rid of this, right? We're not crossed anymore. Yesterday we were crossed again. Now not so much. RGTI just running, huh? Yeah, if you don't mind, Richard, keep us updated. I don't, until we can really click on the SPY and actually see it, I don't know what's going on with that. And the Qs haven't confirmed their weekly signal, right? We want things confirming at the same time. I know that that's kind of crazy to think about, but you need everything confirming, right? If one thing confirms it's crashing, that does not mean something else has to crash, right? We want to see kind of everything. QUBT, oh my, let's go. Oh wait, I feel like QUBT. Oh, quantum computing, okay, yeah. I have seen this. Okay, so what I want to see is, look at that 30-minute. You guys, 30-minute looks great here. Retest of the 5-day moving average. Little 15-minute divergence probably in here somewhere. You can probably see it down here. Maybe it's on a 5. Okay, big 5-minute divergence. But I just want to see if that 30-minute can cross up. Where would it be? Positive territory. Be open to lower high still. You're a little bit negative, but you're pretty much right there. So I actually like this look. On the next push-up, be a little cautious if you start to see this kind of going like this and it starts to teeter, right? If it starts to teeter like this again, where you start to see these red blips in there, it's not just green, 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 watch out for divergence now. The divergence on the RSI led to this. Divergence on both can lead to something a little bit more. I like that look though. Yeah, thank you for showing this. Yeah, QQQ shows, I would say, 30-minute bullish divergence on the, if you put extended hours out. That's why I was showing it in case we V-shape. Because you're outside of a weekly. You just got pretty good PCE data. And there are some huge orders coming in, by the way. God damn it, I can't click on the SPY. Well, where the SPY did this, guys, there are some huge block orders in there for upside. There are a lot of big money actually calling upside. Shorting the VIX work. Yeah, I think someone, was it you, Justin, yesterday? Someone said, I bought UVXY a few days ago and now I'm buying, or I bought UVIX a few days ago and now I'm buying SVIX. And I was like, ah. But I made no money. Yeah, it can happen like that sometimes. Just and the reason maybe you're not making the money is because the option premium hasn't shifted yet. You're still noticing a huge amount of puts, which means people aren't on the call side yet. People actually went more to the put side. So that means like calls actually might have got even cheaper. But that would be the opposite for volatility plays. Thanks, Richard, for keeping us updated. Maybe give it to us every couple minutes. I think that's what you're pretty much doing, actually. What do you think about PLTR? Okay, PLTR, Palantir. Oh, it's down in my yellow. That's right, Palantir. Palantir really building a ton of liquidity. Okay, you see a 30-minute like this, you're going, okay, that's not moving right. I need to pay attention to bigger time frames. You see a 2-hour like this, you're like, that's not moving right. Okay, look at a daily. You've built up a ton of liquidity here. And if you start to cross up like you're doing now, that's your first signal of, okay, we can see good things. Now, this obviously the better opportunity is if this drops down, but look at this. All right, we can end up making an upward move from something like this, and you might see yourself all the way up towards 87, right? Measured move. Now, I don't like measured moves, but what I would more so be doing is going, okay, maybe a 4 hour. I would look at the 4 hour, see if that's able to cross. I would start to build my little lines here and be like, okay, let's just take the actual top. Let's go down like this. Let's take this down here, maybe all the way at this wick and go like this. We'll give it the space. I like to give it space. And then we'll see if that's able to curl up. If that curls up and breaks through here, we can see another upward move. And then we just want to watch out for divergence during that upward move, because that could be a big trap. Hopefully it gets rid of the divergence point. That's what you're kind of hoping with things like this. 583 looks like a double top. Let me click over on the SPY, see if it'll load. Bastards. All right, that sucks. Let me see if my other charts will load it. Sometimes they will load it. Apple's solid move, but is it going to reject here now? Where the heck is it? SPY. Damn, I can't load it. Let me do SPX. SPX is going to be a little bit different. SPX actually showing the divergence on the 30-minute though. Yeah, it looks like 2 wicks there. So retesting that first breakdown, 2 wicks at the very first, very early breakdown, very small breakdown, but still there. Is that catching a bounce? Okay. That's loading slow, low and slow. Oh yeah, let me check some short seller data real quick. Okay, that's coming down. What was the one that popped? What was the one that popped? It was BlackBerry. Let's go check that one. Let's see if the short seller theory would have worked on this one. Holy crap, it would have worked on this one. Oh god, it would have worked. Awesome, it said December 18th. That's when they started really turning up the fight there. Interesting. All right, this one I want to check. Okay, still nothing there for that one. Let's check Wolfie boy. I know I'm checking these on my other screen. It's just because this is a theory, guys. I don't want to show this off and have people read into it. All right, this is just something I'm testing over the next few months. And of course, that one won't load. Remember, the daily expected moves are over on Patreon right now for today. It really doesn't want to load, huh? You really don't want to load for me. The one that I want to look at the most. Okay, there it goes. Alrighty, so you wanted your hint. Actually, dang it, the short seller theory did trigger yesterday. Oh, I should have paid attention to that. So it triggered yesterday. Now you have to see if that continues, right? So Wolf, it did trigger yesterday. During a downward push. That's really when I pay attention. Doesn't look like a sporadic move up just yet. You can see consolidation for a bit, but it would suggest that a potential move could come in the next 2 weeks if this is able to hold over here. So we'll see. VIX now down 10%. Tesla. Amazon. Amazon actually reacting off of a weekly expected move. Weekly expected move coming in some serious handy here. That move is like what? right here. It's Friday, so I don't mind telling you. But just know, people on Patreon pay their hard-earned money for this, so if you want that information, it can really help you out. Boom, there you go. Actually showing a divergence now. Flat on the MACD, upward on the RSI. So Amazon's actually giving you the signals in regular trading hours. So if this crosses up, it means we have a good shot to take back the 5. You take back the 5. This is curling up into positive territory. And guess what? I don't like rejection divergence, so I'll even say, hey, watch out for lower high, but you do have a shot. That's positive to see some kind of crazy move here. I'd still be looking for if we reject at this level right here. Maybe a little bit up from that, maybe like right in here, 227. Kind of depends on how bullish this gets today. Ooh, AMD, Nvidia just went positive. GME positive? Oh, that's actually really good. Okay, the 30-minute crossing up is what I was waiting for GME. Yesterday, AMC was able to do it. So this is why it's like weird, because AMC actually crossed up yesterday. Looked a little bit better than GME actually, even though it's at higher prices for an extended, like a 30-minute trend move or something like that. It did look a little bit better. Now GME starting to make a move here. This will really intrigue me if we're able to close outside of this. If we get good news on this type of push, that can close you outside of this area. And guess what? You want to see a squeeze. You need another closing outside above 30. 30, you have what? 23,000 contracts now. I gotta go check because that's probably increased. Okay, 20,000. Actually, some people sold their contracts there. And you do have a lot of contracts at 40 as well, but 30 is the big line for today. Max pain increased to 2750. Yesterday it was 2650. We do have daily expected moves for GME. We are not even close to it yet. 28. We aren't close to either one or 4. We're not close to any of those. Wolf, 2.71%. Pretty good. Nvidia. Oh my gosh, Nvidia has a big daily expected move. Holy fam. DJT, is that down by a move? Oh yeah, DJT is outside of its daily. Oh, we were able to load the SPY. I didn't even think about it. VIX continuing to drop. 2 hour is one little bit away from crossing. Now this is a retest of our trend line there, that little downward trend line connecting the highs for volatility. So I'll look at this on my other screen and keep you guys aware of what's going on. Who's super excited to open Christmas presents? I felt like a raffle announcer. You kind of were, Richard, but it was nice. Thank you for doing that. I really, really thank you. Because I know it wasn't working for everyone. Also, Sophie and Zane. Okay, what's up? Oh yeah, Justin, I'm past that. I'm past that, Justin. But my goodness. RGTI 880. I'm telling you, this thing is looking good for a 30-minute curl up, man, and it's starting. I think that might just be getting started. If I look at an hourly, that still has space on an hourly. I like that. Oh my gosh, I like it. Tesla, yes. Double bottom Tesla, do it. Do it. Do it. Now, remember, this doesn't have to be here. I like to see it in regular trading hours, but this is suggesting, hey, that's potential for the 2 hour to curl up. So if that 2 hour confirms, you probably got the next trend move higher. Watch out for, still you want to, with a big drop, always watch out for the higher low, lower highs. God damn, my brain. What happens if we fail here? We just keep creating a stronger base. I do not, Very rarely you will. If you, like I said, if you experience a black swan, that is when things go nuts from here. If you're not, people are treating it already like a black swan right now. So the way that this goes more crazy to downside, especially outside of a monthly and things like that, that's where it can happen. But that's where black swan is it. If you don't have anything black swan coming out, and like I said, I don't think I heard too much different. I know there's, what, 2 less rate cuts and things like that, maybe. But they're still saying reactionary to data. He's saying we clearly avoided recession. It's a lie. But we can pay attention to the fact that that can get people bullish, right? If we just take this into consideration, hey, we could do this, we could still make a stronger base, and then we could curl up and still end up higher by the end of December. So I'm not going to get bearish here. If a black swan happens, cool. I am sitting, waiting, ready for a very volatile market. That sounds very fun. I'm down with that. VIX retesting this area now, so I'm keeping it on my radar. Cost, yeah, cost is something I was paying attention to this week, actually. So I was waiting to see if that thing's going to make an upward move. This is why, because you have built a ton of liquidity. You've gotten nice and tight in here. And if this thing runs, well, just notice that it was around the exact same timing, potentially the same timing, right, as this was the May run. This was July. But notice the May run, it lines up to right when GME and AMC started to do some crazy stuff. Kind of want to look weekly. Yeah, that weekly turns up. I'm feeling good. And I'm feeling good. Solid curl up. Now you gotta see if that holds. Meme stocks are returning. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, short Fridays. Did you see me talk about AMC, the signal that we saw at the lows the last time? That the big, well, not the last time, but the actual big moment where this ran from like $6 to $100 over like 3 weeks. Yeah, no options to mess with it. That's true. Depending on how the options go, it can be helpful. I just know the spoofing problem in a lot of these stocks and things like that. But for the most part, if options go nuts to the call side, then you can actually just see that help go into gamma. GME hits $49 a share. I'm buying an Audible. Hey, I'm down. I want it to. All right, here's what I'll say. Let me look at this. Let me look at this. Just for you. Oh, now GME is not gonna load. AMC is not gonna load. DJT, oh great, now this is my internet. I swear to God, if my internet goes out, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed. I hate, that sounds like a sexist thing, but I do hate Cox. It's not, it's TradingView. Let me check my other charts. Sometimes my other chart, it's weird with some, okay, there we go. Now I gotta get my thinking back. Dude, it's TradingView. What the hell is going on? I mean, if it starts squeezing, they can't tank it with cover calls. Okay, this is what I was gonna do. GME, God dang it, come on. You gotta be kidding me. I refuse to give AMC because no. Hey, I get it. You can have your own things about that. I totally get it. Yeah, I get it. I totally understand. Like, you don't have to explain yourself on why you would choose GME over AMC. I totally understand people's thinking around that. So, okay, it's loading on my other charts very easily. So, okay, there we go. I'm going to tell you what. My line is 47.57. Just saying. Just saying. So you want 49? Hey, that would be right above this line. So I'm just going to help you out and at least get you to 47.57. All right, short Fridays, you got to do the rest. I'll get you to 47.57 sometime in the next 3 months, all right? And then you got to do the rest. Sound good? Here, I'll even do this for you. Shake some of that stuff on there. All right. All right. All right, good things though on the monthly chart. You're actually going positive. You're actually going positive. That is a good sign. The last time was you went positive 1 month, bam, big move. So you're positive 1 month, right here you slightly go positive, then you're positive. So maybe January will be a good month. maybe Christmas. All right, I can't click around as much. So what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna go over to the SPY when it loads, and I'm gonna analyze over here, guys. Oh, just load. My other charts are doing fine. Okay, there you go. We're chilling. We're chilling. Just know that the morning price action that's not seen right here in this little area did give you some divergence down there. So it is okay to think just because it happened, the reason we can pay attention to it is because it happened with the data. It happened just a little bit before the open, so the volume will be better in those bars. Oh, GME. If GME closes above $30, that's good. It closes above the 30.59 level, that's even better. And you have stocks dramatically down, so any kind of margin calls happen here, that would be massive. So really, in order to save themselves, if GME makes the upward move, it would be the SPY has to make a crazy upward move. Nvidia has to make a crazy upward move. I gotta leave it here though, guys. It keeps not loading. So I might look at stuff on my other charts and then bring it over. Wolfie now 4%. Wolfie! We have a, one of my daughter's favorite toys is Wolfie. Wolfie's a good boy. God, just curl up on a 2-hour, man. Just curl up on a 2-hour, Wolfie, and I'll at least be hopeful for you. Yo, you take Wolfie plays? $5 and I'll make you guys a Wolfie range for the next 2 weeks. No, I'm just kidding. I'll just make you guys a range. I'll put it on my list real quick. Just do this right here. All right, I'm gonna put it on my list, guys. I can show that on Patreon. So join the Patreon and I'll give you guys that that Wolf expected range there for the next few weeks. I'll put it on the list, especially if it curls up on this 2-hour. Sorry, I'm looking at it on my other chart. QMCO. Government shutdown, yeah, the government shutdown potentially happening, what, today? Lucid 6% now. Things are weirdly running. Every time I close my short on home builders, there's another drop. Dude, the housing sector is telling us something. God dang it, I can't click around on these. I keep forgetting. I'm gonna put this on the SPY. I'm gonna look at housing over on my other charts. I'll bring it over. But housing is throwing up. I was like, you wanna see some vomit? Go look at the housing sector. You're gonna see some serious vomit. This is why you need to be aware that things are changing. Things are getting ugly. Home builders, as far as at least HGX, the housing sector, 657, right? Now I'm gonna pull up XHB for this one. You might be looking at nail. I'm gonna look at XHB. So if I look at this from the weekly time frame, I really wanna see it get down to these levels. This is a breakout area. You notice we've used it as support before right here on this wick. So there's a little box in here that we could probably draw. But if we wanted to draw a big box, right? If we wanted to draw a big box, right? Give ourselves a lot of room here. We would do something like this, right? We would do something like that, say that's a big ass box. But if I see any reversal signals in this big ass box, hey, well, we could end up breaking out to the upside again, like this. If I break out, now we have to be aware that this is a left, this could potentially be the head, and this could potentially come down, react up, and be a right shoulder. And with how weak this is, and where that box lines up to, well, you would say that's the beginning of our breakdown area, right? So just above this box, bink, oh no, bad things can happen. I probably should include this little wick there, but Yeah, this is where I would more so be looking for those reversal signals at the bottom of the box. So just give yourself a nice little square around everything that's important, and then say, hey, if I get a bounce signal here, maybe I could catch a bounce. Pay attention to the risk at the top if that is a retest to come down. And the reason for that is you see the daily is very, very negative. So if that wants to turn around, hey, awesome. What we want to see is, does that turn around soon, then curl back down, then give us some kind of signal down here. I just think the gap fill is down here. There's a lot of stuff down here that could be good. And if you just make a, say, 2-hour signal down here, then you have that daily that's really deep into negative territory. You curl up, you see another 2-hour signal here, and then you start to drop down and you have a head and shoulders. We'll see if it plays out that way, but we just want to pay attention to any signal that we see and then formulate a little plan there. That's XHB, that is home builders. But home builders absolutely taking a vomit. Look at that big move from the SPY. I'm surprised the Dow's not seeing more than this. The Dow actually has the divergence in our buy zone, one of our buy zones, the lower one, right? The lower one, testing the original breakout area, not the breakout from here. The breakout from here, pretty crazy to see. And we have a 30-minute divergence, which means, hey, this 2 hours can start to gain some steam here. This 2 hour can start to go boop, 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 boop. But does that look great? I don't know about that. That could retest, fall back down, and then this looks great. I like it. Oh, god dang it. I'm clicking around again. I gotta just... It's so annoying. Hey, Jonathan, thank you so much for the $5. Looking at buying reversals, but worried about the 5-day going below the 200. Or the 50-day, sorry. Yes, you're looking for that bad crossing. One thing, and IonQ is ripping. That's awesome. Now, what we want to see here for something like XHB, and I'm going to do it on my other charts because these are wonky. I'm going to click on the SPY. I'm going to bring up my other charts. They're just loading much, much better. XHB. So on the daily, when I look at this and I see the 9 starting to cross, the 50 is very far away from crossing. Now what you'll notice is a lot of the time when you actually get the original crossing of the 50, like crossing below the 200, a lot of the time you'll find a short-term base in some way shortly after that crosses. Now what you want to pay attention to then is maybe a retest for downside. So daily, right? Oh, god dang it, I did it again. I'm so sorry, guys. Screw trading view right now. Try to do it on my other chart here and show it to you guys. Okay, here, I'll show it to you on the SPY. Especially with the SPY, when you see that original crossing, notice what you're doing. You're bottoming first, and then you're trying to see if you can head up, right? Notice when you cross to the upside, you find a little top to go retest some stuff, okay? So I just want you to be aware of those little kind of things, but mainly what you're seeing here is if you didn't pay attention to this at all, you had 2-hour divergences all across this at the time, and then the daily popped up. You have daily divergences here, so you knew it was going to be a big move, right? We had daily divergences, a little bit wonky, that you can expect that in a volatile market, but for the most part, hey, that's when 2-hour divergences look the best, and boom to the upside because I have daily divergence as well. We were able to go positive, but failed. We failed. And then we go up to the upside and we go, oh, okay, awesome. Guess what? There's probably a 2-hour lower high, 2-hour divergence at the top here, and that drops down. Daily divergence there. Bam. Love it. Love, 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 love. Daily divergence there. Daily divergence there. Daily divergence there. This is why taking the course, you'll get to catch all of these. This is where I am loving the market. I love if volatility comes in. And volatility is here, so I kind of hope it remains. Like, I'm not trying to say, oh, I hope there's a Christmas rally. I'm saying I think that's likely, but I'm more so thinking to myself, I hope the market remains volatile because then I'll get to catch some great, great trades. What would really cause AMC and GME to go nuts is if you got some news today. But you're seeing other stuff pop. You're seeing AMC remain positive there. You're seeing GME remain actually trying to curl up now, creating a strong base at our level here. Oh, this is my other charts. I was like, why the hell are they not showing? Oh my gosh, look at that rocket ship. We'll see what happens. Volatility now down below 20. Down below 20. So us being people that pay attention to both sides, we realize how this could be very, very bad, but we understand how things move. And so we're seeing if this upside move is going to continue. We're not saying the bearishness can't continue. We're just stating that this really looks like we are trying to go to deeper levels, scare people out of the market, see another upward move to convince them that it can't drop anymore. We were always leaning towards the scare to get into one of our buy zones. Let me go use the restroom real quick, guys, and I will be right back. And thank goodness for daily expected moves. Be right back, guys. I am going to put up the thing. Today. I'm going to put this up, and thank you so much, Jonathan, for the $5. Really appreciate that. I do appreciate your questions, and I love looking at those charts for you. I think it's a lot of fun. Now, what we'll notice here is, bam, we can put that guy back up, because now the course sale's on. Yesterday, I didn't want to show it off because, I didn't want someone to buy it for more than what you could get it for today. So there you go. Be right back, guys. Everyone, please say hello to old man Toby. He wanted to come hang out with us today, so very, very cool. We like having the Tobes around, even though he's a little stinky because he's old. Yeah, looking at things and really looking over at IWM. I'm going to do it on my other charts because I still don't know if this stuff's being a little funky. IWM cashing a pretty damn good bounce there. Makes sense. We're seeing a lot of stuff kind of shoot up here. Now we're seeing that resistance come in right at the liquidity area. So we'll see if this is able to keep going through that. Once you get through that, that's when you can see something crazy. Maybe even get back up to 598, above 598.02 by the end of the day. Now that would be a lot. The Q's a little bit closer. So I think this is more of a probability than this. It's really far. But we'll see. We'll see. Once again, though, Qs go outside of the monthly and doesn't like it. Did IWM actually show it? Damn, didn't actually show it. Amazon not confirmed yet. Oof, you're still kind of asking for something bad in December, even with this upward move. That's the truth, which is bad, but it is Christmas. Okay, let's see what people are saying here. Let's see what people are saying about GameStop, actually. IWM, GME, Lucid, all turned and breaking out. Let's check on Lucid then. Let's see if this will load. Hey, there you go. Lucid turned up on the 30-minute. Want the 2-hour to curl back up, that's for sure. The 30-minute kind of showing the potential to make a reversal if it turns back down, but this is what you want to happen. All right, we're paying attention to the risk. The risk is the 30-minute goes down by the end of the day, and you see that cross by the end of the day, that's bad. But if this is going to build up over time, hey, we could even do this. left head, right shoulder. If this is going to keep going, we can violate the divergence points, and that would be massive. What the heck? Who's doing stuff over here? Shane Moss, thank you for donating $5 through the super chat. Their 20th super on the live stream. Thank you so much. Where does Lucid go crazy? I don't necessarily have those levels. So what I want to look for is it looking good on bigger scales, right? Because if I'm holding on to this, I just want to see if there's prolonged positivity. So right there is going to be my signal. Now, everyone should be paying very freaking close attention to Lucid because we mentioned this in the past and it's starting to come to fruition. What do you have at the low? You have very dramatic divergence. Everyone should be paying attention to Lucid if that weekly curls up. All right, that tells us that the monthly can start to go positive here. You don't have enough data for a monthly MACD, so that's going to be difficult. So what you need to do is, what are all the signals that MACD has crossed? Well, are we above the 9? Are we above the center line? If you have those two things, it is a high likelihood that the MACD is close to crossing or already crossed. All right? So this is huge. Yeah, I'm glad that our RGTI and stuff like that are running because I mentioned that just a few days ago. I was like, I really like this stock if it gets a pullback, and now we're getting that pullback. So I am enjoying this very much so today. And look, you go from craziness for 2 days to opportunities everywhere. I love it. I really like the look from Lucid right now on the weekly scale. This tells me this could be a good monthly investment. If that weekly can cross. That's key, guys. Hasn't crossed yet. They can still do some funky stuff to this. Let me look at Lucid's short seller theory. Let me look at my short seller theory with Lucid. Short seller theories with you on this too, as of yesterday. It's almost got the perfect confirmation here. That would be today. So today you can get that confirmation, and that means it's a battle today. I think it's a battle today for this guy, and Lucid is so far winning. But if that starts to drop dramatically, that's when you'll pay attention. So if that 30-minute drops off, that's when you got to pay attention. You still have divergences on these shorter time frames, but just know that my short seller theory might trigger today, right? I won't see that data until Monday or Saturday, unfortunately. Solid move into liquidity. Now we see what happens. This is our first curl up. We can hold that for 20 minutes. Ooh, AMC, not the best. Ooh, but our boy GME looking pretty nice. Can you curl up on the 30-minute? That's the deal. See what other people are saying about this. Someone going, what happens when GME goes above 30 or 32 today? And I'm like, well, they're paying attention to the right stuff. I like to see when retail people post stuff and they're kind of paying attention to the right stuff. Those levels are the important ones, 30 and 32. 30 from the call perspective, the call wall perspective. 32 from the perspective of where those wicks keep coming in is right at 32. Is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth worth it for me to get? If VIX loses 19.6, the VIX could fly. Yeah, QUBT. Let's go check on that guy again, see if it's really QUBT. I keep putting QBut. See what my mind's on right now. Oh, no confirmation just yet. What's my prediction? I did a ballsy prediction with a friend of mine yesterday and said we're going to see the SPY get into the weekly expected move today. That was my ballsy prediction. My true prediction for the most likely thing is I think the Qs could end up at least testing, if not ending in their weekly expected move, and the SPY ends up above the 5-day. Just below the weekly. That's what I would think if we can remain positive, like if we can keep the push going. If volatility continues to subside below 20, this is where things can start to go a little crazy, especially if that 2-hour crosses. You got 27 minutes. Then you could start to see things really... This isn't even a rip yet, guys. This isn't even V-shape yet. This could be a retest of liquidity to head lower. But if things start to confirm for volatility on the 2-hour, it's really looking like SPY's about to catch some bouncing. But got to pay attention to the signals. Right now you have your initial curl up. Managing risk isn't a very, very important thing. Whoever played Tesla upside, well, Tesla was interesting because it gave you a double bottom, right? We were talking about, we even went like this, right? We were showing off that it's still holding on the RSI. If you look at the RSI, it's still held. Notice we didn't violate the divergence point, so it's still held there. Now, I don't like to use those very often, but I can pay attention to them and say, okay, this could V-shape. So I want to pay attention if this 30-minute curls up, maybe I can manage risk. So now I would just say, hey, if this 15-minute curls over, where is it? It's in negative territory. It just rejected. Great sign for a double bottom. All of that leads me to believe this is likely to turn up for a bit. The 2-hour is positive. So now I can say, oh, this is likely to turn up for more than a bit if that can continue. If that doesn't roll over at any time, if the 30-minute doesn't roll back down to create the stronger base, hey, that 2-hour can start to project higher. Yeah, so it's just paying attention and kind of, a lot of this is knowing how to look for it. And I'm not day trading, so this right here does not get me overly excited, right? Check dollar. Yeah, we'll check in a sec. I just have a mean itch right now on my leg. I gotta put lotion. It's dry over here. Yeah, dollar seriously breaking down here. Still pay attention if that 2-hour curls up, but mainly if this daily crosses, you're still paying attention to the two same things. You're just seeing if this can turn up. We have no indication that that has to turn up just yet. We are in the liquidity zones, right? We're in this, while the SPY's in this. Okay, the SPY's in that upward one, we're in this one. So this is where reaction can happen. If you start to break below that, you break below the 5, it's really leaning towards that daily's gonna cross down. Great look. This should chill out here for a second. Which IWM, I got out way too early. IWM going bonkers a little bit here, able to get through its area. So we cut through this like butter. You think we're going to gain all this back like butter? We'll see. You don't have the reversal signals in regular trading hours. That's my only thing going against all of this right now. But TLT, that one as well, holding the divergence here, meaning a 2-hour curl up is very likely. Still negative though for TLT, but that just tells us, hey, these yields might actually subside. And if we look at the yields, we can look at these and go, okay, that's dropping off, doesn't have divergence, so I should be aware of any kind of reaction. We're right now testing my 4495. Yeah. Still above a 5, so not overly excited to jump back into TLT again. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Apple gave one. What is your prediction to SPY? Oh yeah, okay, I already did that, right? So I think SPY at least maybe like, I think SPY, a test of 594, 595 is kind of the most bullish I can say for the SPY right now. But I did with my friend joke around and be like, yeah, watch this. He was really, really bearish, and I said, how much you want to bet? 598.02 by tomorrow. He's like, no way we even hit that number. I was like, well, I bet you we hit it. And I was like, that was a very one. The one I'm more liking is the Qs. I think the Qs could get back in there very easily. Happy Friday, Orchid. How you doing? Hey, Orchid. I bought my wife an orchid. I went to the store. I was looking at flowers forever, and I took the tallest orchid because I like orchids, and I couldn't figure out what to get her. So I took the tallest orchid that they had. And when I brought it home, it was like towering, and she was like, what the hell is this? Yeah, so Tesla looks pretty good. Amazon actually gave the reversal signal, so I'm very interested to see if this can cross, take back the 5. I actually really like the Amazon look right now, especially because it was at a weekly expected move. That's why I really like it. I bought my wife a flower. I bought my wife. Yeah, she's Ecuadorian. And Argentinian. Yeah, I went to Argentina. Paid a guy like, yeah, maybe like 2,000. No, that's fucked up. No, her mom's from Ecuador, but she's a New Jersey. She's a drone flyer. No, do not, please do not. I would never give my wife a drone. That thing would be crashed into a wall in like 10 seconds. Exactly, that's why I like them. Because I do not have a green thumb. I'm good with grass. Not with anything else. That's one thing about me choosing to rent for the time being while the housing market does its thing. Thank you for crashing. That's great. Is I'm really looking forward to having, I don't know, does anyone else like that? Anyone else like having a nice yard? Quote unquote grass, cuckoo, don't be thinking anything. That's not legal in my state. I do like gummies. I mean, gummy bears. How do you do the 5 EMA? I'm going to put that on the course. Since you guys are live here, I mean, there's 160 of you guys. I appreciate you guys. Christmas time's coming around. I'm just going to, I mean, I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm just going to put this into the course, how to add this. SMA right here, the 5-day. We can do this really briefly, so make a note of it right now. All you have to do is type SMA, moving average simple, and then that's going to be on your chart now, and you'll notice I have a whole new one, right? SMA 9. And so if I want that to pop up, maybe just on certain levels here, maybe just on the shorter ones, maybe just leave it all selected. We can go to inputs here. We have a 9, close, none, 14, 2, chart, right? So this is what you want to change. This is going to be like this. You go down and you say the daily chart, and you hit OK. That should pop up a 9 for us. Maybe it's because we already have a 9. Or maybe the 9 is somewhere different. Let me do this. I probably got to change the color so I can see it. Let's do a pinkish. Where's the pinkish? There you are. But you're supposed to be... Time frame 1 day. I feel like that's not right. Why did that not work? Why did that not work? Anyone else see what I'm doing wrong here? It should do it. Oh, wait, what's this yellow line? What the hell's the yellow line? I don't know what that yellow line is. Okay, we got it to work though. So there it is. So there's your staggered line. I don't know why it was being funky at first, but... So there's that 9. That's how you do it. I don't know why. I think it maybe was loading for a second or something like that, but yeah, that's overall how you do it. You just type simple moving average, get it on there, and then you just change the settings to where it's like 1 day. You can hit wait for time frame close. You can hit not wait for time frame close. It looks fine. I'm gonna delete it off. I don't know why this one keeps popping. It's like it keeps adding something, and I don't want that. I just want that 9 coming down. So very interesting that that's happening. Don't need the 9 though. Oh, I'm a terrible sleepy. I'm a terrible sleepy. I'm a terrible sleeper, cuckoo. Your own trees or garden? Bro, what's it called? HOAs. I hate HOAs with a passion. I think HOAs are the stupidest thing in the planet. I will most likely be looking at something with at least a little bit of land or something. I think that would be dope. We want to grow veggies and stuff like that, so if they have a problem with it, even if I moved into, say, even a neighborhood that's decently spacious and they didn't like it, I would still do it anyway. I'll move into a neighborhood that at least allows me to have a wooden fence, not a see-through fence. And then I would do it anyway. I hate my nice yard. I'm too stingy to pay people to maintain, so I'm always having to do it. Yeah, I feel that. My goal is I have a nephew that's grown up, a young man, right? And he's a youngin', but he's about to get to the age where mowing lawns. I used to mow lawns when I was his age, and I was as short as him. He's a little tiny guy like me, like I was. Not anymore, but what I'm overall getting at is I'm like, okay, so at least if I don't want to mow, well, every once in a while I could pay him to do it. Yeah, it's a man thing. It's like you need your time. Also, I have an ingrown hair, and it sucks. It's in such a weird spot. Right on my neck. Hate it. SoFi. I'm going to look for something with a crazy move. Let's see. 1.4. That's pretty crazy. AMD, 2% there. 5% for SMCI. Now, this one was interesting because SMCI had 30-minute divergence. I was looking at this one yesterday. So that 2 hour seems like you're going to get a curl up here. See if that continues. But 30-minute divergence now, saying, hey, you have tapered off enough here. Mr. Wright, thank you so much. I'm going to call you Siri. Siri, thanks so much for subscribing. Appreciate you being here today. Well, here's the thing. I'm fine with having a yard and all those things, and I'll take care of the yard and all those things for a while. But the truth is, I want to make my own gun range. That would be sick. Okay, my headphones are not connecting, so I'm going to take them off. They disconnect every once in a while. Every 2 or 3 streams, I go through that problem. Siri's your sister, got her to join? Well, welcome, Siri. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Wright. Oh my god, a brother-sister duo. This is so cute. Gold, big reaction. Why is gold going to get a big reaction here, guys? Well, let's think simply. What does gold not like? The dollar. What does gold like? When the dollar drops down. Okay, so gold getting a bounce today makes total sense with how the dollar is behaving. And then the 10-year, you see that's dropping off. We're looking for if that daily can cross for the 10-year. That's going to be a big signal there. People still trying to get those puts, though. Puts. And the dollar is dropping, and the PCC is higher. So most likely it is not the right play. But it could be. Maybe if it's like a day play or something, right? We still have high implied volatility. We can expect some rip arounds. But right now it's really looking like things want to try to go higher. It's a family matter. Yo. Do you guys like trade stocks next to each other? Because that's sick. How the hell do I get this? I need like some pliers or something. Like those little eyebrow things to like pull that little hair out or something. Freaking hurts, dude. Siri doesn't know what I'm talking about. Siri probably doesn't have a neck beard right now. My wife says that she likes me with a beard, so at least a little bit more than scruff. Gotta do what the lady likes. TLT, solid little reaction there. Yeah, hesitation here makes sense. We still could make a little right shoulder. We still could dip down. She copies your trades. Well, then hopefully you have good trades. You know what I mean? I still want to keep my eye on Amazon. I know it doesn't look the best just yet, but I want to keep an eye on this. It's the one that showed more weakness, but it's actually showing a decent signal during market hours. Nvidia doing the thing right now. We'll see if that holds in a couple of minutes. I'd like to see a little bit better bar than that, but that is a positive bar above your moving averages, crossing up the MACD really close to the center line. Are things going to go more nuts than they are right now in the next 30 minutes? That's my question. It's unfortunate I do have to hop off in just a bit. Unfortunate. La 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 la. Let's go check on our boys over here. GME still not getting that curl up yet. Weirdly enough, getting the same type of bar as Nvidia. AMC curled up, but not seeing the continued positivity, more so getting some kind of little 5-minute consolidation. You can really see that on the 5-minute. Seeing if that can cross up, you see how that's trying to base out in here, right? So that's where we can see, hey, we'll see if this thing closes above that 5-day. DVN, I'll check on something like that. Energy, okay, energy stuff. Well, right away, you see this divergence on the MACD. You see it kind of flat, actually, a little bit up for the RSI. It's very, very down though. Here's the thing, this is super, super down. So right away, when you see this, you wanna go, ooh, is options really going to be a good thing? Because we've seen signals like this in the past and they just don't play out. We've seen signals across in the past, they just don't play out. So right away, you gotta treat this a little bit carefully, meaning maybe even managing risk by talking about your position size initially. You do not have 2-hour reversal signals. You are in a super negative trend right now. So anything that you do with this, just realize the opportunity hasn't showed itself as good yet, but that doesn't mean it's not an opportunity if you know more than I do about the stock, right? That's how I would overall treat it. If you know more than I do, this is extremely oversold. This is the level that you were paying attention to for whatever reason, and you're going, hey, I'm an investor or something like that, okay. But if this is going to do that, it's going to be very random to see when you're doing this, right? You need to take 5-day, you need to confirm an upward push. Then, once you do that, right, once we start to do that, once you do a big move like this, you really go positive, then you curl down and cross back up, that's when you know that's going to continue, and that's where options can make a little bit more sense. But you're noticing in the past, when you see a good move, you curl down into negative territory, right? We lose the 5. That's a big problem. We curl up, we lose the 5. We curl up, we lose the 5 with a double top actually right there. So I would just say options a little bit risky, but if I'm looking at this from a perspective of, hey, this is going down to extremely low levels, is this a place we can bounce from? You would say more so want more price action, right? Look at the opportunity it gave in the past. That was really the good one. And then just say, hey, if this monthly can turn up, that'd be a good thing. Because here you had divergence, and then that actually crossed up, and that led to the big, great investment for 12 to 24 months. Yeah, that's what I'd be paying attention to for the most part. All right, guys, unfortunately, I know you guys, I wish I could sit and look at stocks with you all day. I really do, but it's Friday. We have some extra stuff to get done today. We have to go to the store again because apparently we forgot to get some stuff, so whatever. I did get coffee, though. Remember, I did get coffee with the coffee money you guys gave me, and now all I have to do is, for Tina, I have to take my wife out to a nice lunch. So maybe I'll do that today. But I just wanted to say, I'm sorry if I couldn't get to yours today. You can always come back to the live show on Monday and throw it out there, right? Throw it out there for me, and I'll take a look for you on Monday, all right? Thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got those notifications on, because Saturday we are going to go through those bigger time frames and talk about how this week especially when I see how it ends at the end of the day, we can talk about the most likely things to happen going forward, especially on a low volume week like Christmas. We can see some funky stuff. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I wish you guys nothing but love and happiness for your whole weekend. I hope you guys are keeping your risk managed, and I wish you nothing but luck with your trades all day today. $6 trillion on the line today. Whew, that's a lot of money. So make sure you're managing risk. All right, guys, peace out. I'll talk to you guys next time. Oh, and remember, that course is on sale now. So if you click the links down in the description, you will get that course at the discounted rate. That will extend all the way into the first or maybe even second week of January. I'm still playing with it right now, but I kind of want it to more be like, hey, we're putting it out early for Christmas, but it's mainly a new year, new me type of thing, right? New year, new me. I'm going to dedicate myself to learning, paying attention to my risk, and being accountable for my trading by pointing out things that I'm doing wrong and learning from them. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. And Siri, thank you so much for joining today. I'm hoping that your brother's plays go very, very well. And maybe you can learn a little bit and teach him a thing or two after a little bit more time in our chat, right? So thank you guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Saturday. I'll see you guys on Sunday. I'll see you on Patreon for the weekly expected moves next week. And I'll be live next week too. You think Christmas is going to hold me back? I'm still going to come live and say hi to you guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Peace.